So we have finally seen Lady Bird, and I mean, of course, it was fantastic.
Let's see what all the buzz was about. Buzz, bird.
Like a... Oh, God!
Lady Bird is directed by Greta Gerwig. Now, Greta Gerwig is most known for being Greta Gerwig. She's an actress, you might have seen her in quite a few films. She kind of co-directed a film a few years ago. Anyway, this is kind of her directorial debut, I believe.
Her solo one. This is the first film she has done on her own.
Pretty much, and it's a deeply personal story for her as far as we know, and she wrote this film herself. She obviously directed it, and it stars Saoirse Ronan alongside quite a big cast, including Hedges, Tracey Letts, Laurie Metcalf, Timothee, Chalamet.
And Lady Bird follows our main character, Lady Bird, played by Saoirse Ronan, as she goes through the final year of high school, transitioning into adulthood, and all of the kind of problems and complexities and all those kind of things that you have to face in that transition. Now, obviously, reviews for this had already been fantastic, and it is an A24 film, so I guess kind of by default, we know it's going to be good. But this has to be one of the most kind of authentic and real and just deeply kind of entertaining and rewarding kind of coming-of-age teenage films we have ever seen, and it also, as a result, becomes one of the best films of 2017.
Well, as you said from the synopsis, it's nothing we haven't necessarily seen before, but somehow Greta Gerwig has found a way that is just so original to tell this story. I think also being the fact that she is quite young and she's an avid film lover, it's just all shown in her kind of, really her first debut here.
First debut. So this is the first, she'll have another debut later on. Yeah? Wow. I think that the first thing that I kind of noticed about this movie was quite often when an actor makes their kind of first few films, they don't actually have a very good understanding of the cinematic language. They kind of have a story to tell, they're good with the actors, but the camera, where it's placed and the way the story is told visually and the way the film is kind of constructed doesn't really matter to them. Here we can see that Gerwig really understands movies. She knows how to compose a shot. She knows how to make an edit that gives the previous scene more meaning by contrast. She knows how to juxtapose ideas. She knows how to get the most out of every single scene. And that is why this film is such a rewarding experience. The script here is fantastic with dialogue that is super fluid and natural and very entertaining and witty. And the rewarding nature comes from the fact that this movie is only about 90 minutes long, yet packs in so many different ideas and moments with all these different characters that all have some form of payoff in the end. Considering we see this entire story through the lens of the way Lady Bird sees it, we see ideas that are brought up at the start of the movie and we perceive them in a certain way. And as she kind of grows and comes to understand herself better and comes to understand that transition into adulthood, we see that those kind of those ideas and those things that were explored in the past are perceived in a new way. And that's when it becomes rewarding for us, when we're able to look at an idea and see it evolve over time, and that is when truly great writing and directing occurs.
And I think what makes this film so special is the fact that it really does focus and hone in on its characters. It doesn't really worry about the events or the circumstances or even the situations in which they're in. I mean, films like this where they're based in schools will really focus in on the school, what's happening at the school, the big events, the
about
proms.
leading up to prom, yeah.
Exactly, but this film doesn't really do that. It focuses on its characters and its situations and the subtle moments. Which brings me to my favourite part of this film, is how incredibly beautifully subtle it is. Not in just its performances, but its moments, and how raw it is as well. I mean, it already feels timeless. It feels like a timeless indie classic. I know that years from now I'll be able to watch this and still feel so enthralled by everything and find everything so incredibly relatable, and I feel for years to come, you know, people growing up will just find a way to connect with this film.
And the construction of the film aside, I think what really gets us to connect with this movie and really gets us involved is just how good the performances are. These characters are all so well realized across the board, to the point of almost saying that this is one of the best acted movies of the year, just in general. Saoirse Ronan has been doing great work for a long time. We have pretty much loved her in every single movie we have seen her in. There has been a few that we haven't seen that weren't as good apparently, but everything we have seen from her has been ridiculously impressive. Not only her mastery of accents here, she just completely sounds like she's a native Californian. Is Sacramento in California?
Yes.
Great. But she brings this kind of authenticity to the role. She really genuinely feels like she's trying to navigate all of these situations that happen in her life. And where the construction of this movie and the performance combines is the fact that each of these situations, no matter how small, feel equally significant. When you're a teenager, when you're at that stage in your life, everything that goes on feels so important. There's no kind of scaling of ideas. Everything is of equal value, and she finds a way of making everything as kind of cataclysmic as it should be for this film. And that's why it's so endearing, is because every situation situation she finds herself in, she feels either trapped or overjoyed, or there's such conflicting emotions about everything going on, and she just absolutely nails that.
Well, the thing is, she is 23 now, and she's playing an 18-year-old character here as well, so not only does she have kind of that experience to kind of draw upon, but she also now has developed a level of maturity to reflect and realize these characters and kind of understand the emotions that they were going through, because she probably went through it herself. Across the board though, we do get fantastic performances from everyone. Again here, Timothee Chalamet just showing how talented he is. Here he's very, very different to what he's like in Call Me By Your Name. He's incredibly subtle, underplays everything, but does it so damn well. Lucas Hedges
overplays and underplays at the same time, because it's that kind of cool guy type of thing.
Yeah, it's groovy and it works, and Lucas Hedges is absolutely fantastic. I mean, this kid is nailing every performance he gets. Plus, we get some really smaller performances by some kind of first-time actors, or at least I've never seen them before, and they were all very, very good. But we have to make mention to Laurie Metcalf, who plays the mother of Saoirse Ronan's character here. She was phenomenal. So incredibly relatable as well. Like, you see your own mother in her performance, in the way she just kind of has this endless love for her children, no matter what they're going through, but also this understanding that life is difficult and you just have to keep on going.
She definitely captures that idea that parents, regardless of being raised themselves by parents before them, have to make it up as they go along. She really does feel the entire time like she's in over her head with her daughter. She doesn't know how to handle, she doesn't know how to communicate, but she's just doing her best because she really, really cares. This is such a amazingly genuine performance that really kind of is going to be so relatable to so many people, and I really, really am stunned by it. And her dad is played by Tracey Letts, who kind of continues this trend in 2017 of these great father figures. He is so very, very subtle. He's a stage actor who really, really has an amazing self-control as a performer, but he has this amazing relatability where he's able to connect with his daughter on the level that she needs to be connected with, and he's able to say sometimes that, hey, everything's okay. Everything going on around you might feel terrible now. My life might not be that great, but everything's okay. He's someone who's able to find the best in every moment. And that creates a fantastic contrast in scenes when he's partnered with his wife.
It just allows for incredible dynamics between our characters and the relationships that grow between them, especially kind of the mother-daughter, father-daughter relationship here. It's explored so well and in an incredibly relatable way. And I think that, again, it just comes down to such a fully realized script by Greta Gerwig here. And she has done such a terrific job. Also, we have some fantastic music choices that play throughout the entire film. A lot of written songs here, a lot of licensed music, I should say, and actually there's funny stories behind them. If you've read up online, Greta Gerwig actually reached out to a lot of the artists, writing handwritten notes to them saying, hey, can I use your music? And I think that's just fantastic, an artist reaching out to another artist. It just further shows how much love Greta Gerwig had for this film and for this story, and it really does show.
If you're someone who's prone to getting emotional while watching a movie, this movie will definitely have beats where it hits you with maybe a tear or two.
Oh, there's gonna be a few tears for sure.
It is also incredibly funny. It is super entertaining. The entire theater we were in was laughing all the time. It is just a massively overjoyed kind of experience. It's such a great kind of evaluation and exploration and celebration of life. It has great cinematography, great color, great costuming, great editing. Its soundtrack is fantastic. The performances are great. This truly is a stunning film. And while it is pretty much a flawless movie, we cannot really find any faults in it at all. It is just a massively brilliant experience. I don't necessarily think it hits that kind of next level perfect score territory, but
it may do for some people, but it is just an incredibly joyous experience and we could not recommend it more. We're going with a 9.6 out of 10 for this one. If you get the chance, do not miss it because Lady Bird is well worth it.
So that was our review of Lady Bird. Have you seen it yet?
Did you like it?
Did you hate it?
Did you like this video?
Of course you did.
Crave for more banter.
If so, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel down there somewhere.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, all at Breaking Banter.
Oh, and at Patreon, because we got one of those and you can help us out. Just, yeah, get on it.